Hey folks, welcome back. My name is Krishna. If you're new to the channel, welcome. This is a short and sweet one today. This is basically how I draw objects or characters in perspective. So in the last video, I created these cards, and what I'm doing now is I'm just drawing a rectangular grid. And this grid is helpful when it comes to placing objects in perspective. So I'm going to actually use the transform tool and use the rotation to kind of position the bottom edge, make it line up with the bottom edge of this card. I've already done it for the other 4 cards, I guess, that are already in the scene. And I'm using the distort transformation. And you can see that you can just pull those square handles to get it where you need to be. I find this is a little bit more flexible than just using the perspective tool. I'm going to merge, and then I'm going to drop the opacity on those layers. And now I'm going to rotate the canvas and start drawing a few things. So the big takeaway with this particular video is use the grid, because it can really help you when it comes to placing objects, in a more convincing or believable way. Obviously the grid is a trapezoidal shape. I'm drawing cards here. I'm not drawing anything that's 3-dimensional, so that makes it a little bit easier, I think. I like working in red. I'm working on a separate layer that's above the grid layer. And in this particular case, once I get all of these elements drawn in, I'm just going to convert the red to black by using the hue saturation tool. So let's review some keyboard shortcuts that I'm using here. Command T is the transform tool. With that, you can distort, you can use perspective, you can skew. That's a really good keyboard shortcut to know in Photoshop. The R key, the letter R, will let you rotate your canvas, which is also very, very handy. I think it's a good habit to get into. When I draw traditionally, and especially when I ink traditionally, I will rotate the sheet of paper as I work, and that is a perfectly normal thing. I'm so glad that digital tools have the ability to rotate the canvas, because it just makes things so much more pleasant to draw. So with the Twilight Zone here, I'm just putting a few different, elements, rockets, to kind of connote the sci-fi aspect, a skull, aliens. I'm not really sourcing too much from any of the specific episodes. I'm making it a little bit more general. I initially thought about actually putting specific characters from various episodes, but I think that would just, I don't know, I guess it could work, but that wasn't the direction that I opted to go with for this particular piece. And the drawings are occurring in real time. These aren't sped up. So you can actually get a sense of the pauses and the thought process that is going into this. I am working off the cuff and just finding what strikes me as being interesting. So I thought I'd go with like a woman's eyes, nose, and mouth without having to go into any more details. So now I can, once I'm satisfied with this, I can hide the grid layer. And then I can change the values to black by using Command U. In my next video, I'll be actually tackling coloring and going through that process with you. So I hope you stick around. I hope you subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks.